Hi, I'm Marie. Welcome to my studio. Hi, this is Marie from Pacific Design Studio. These videos go along with my Etsy store at pacificdesignstudio.etsy.com. Today we're going to be looking at some sort of fantasy flowers. There's no reason when you paint, if you're painting decoratively, that you have to paint a specific flower. It can be a flower that you have made up. It can be a flower that doesn't exist. It can be something that looks like it came off of Mars. It can be any one of those. The only ones you have to worry about is when you're painting roses, daffodils, irises, the types that have very specific structure. Then you want to follow and pay attention to how the petals are done. I'm going to show you at least 3 different ones today. This is a 5 petal, and then this one is a 3 up, 3 down, and then this one is a 3 petal on the bottom and 3 petals over that. So even though these two look alike, they're actually going to be different. So when you're painting a 5 petal flower like this, you pretty much follow this particular construction. One at the top, one on that side. Sort of looks like a man standing up with his arms and legs out. One on that side. Now that I already have this turned over, I'll just keep going that direction. One on the bottom. And one on that side. Now I'm going to let those just dry some, because I'm going to go back over and paint something over them. So on this one in the middle, this is the 3 up, 3 down. You can do the same thing. You're going to do the 3 on the top, and then you're going to do 3 that are going to fold downward. And the way this one will change from this one is when we add in some of the details. Not quite sure why I skewed this one so bad, but I did. And I just made it into the other one, so let me try that one again. There's the up middle. Up one side. Up the other side. I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. I'm going to do a big middle one, like so. And then I'm going to do a kind of a sweepy sort of petal, like that. And one like that. So it looks a little bit more like an iris. This one can be one of these, but slightly turned over to the right. Okay, for this one, I'm actually going to have the under petals be slightly lighter. That gives them a little bit more interest. Remember, matchy matchy and everything perfect is not always interesting to look at. And what you're going to want to go after is something that's interesting to look at. So on this one, this is going to be the under piece. One under piece, 2 under piece, and 3/8 piece. Now, I will go back in and you can see the difference between the two blues. Although it's the same paint, just by diluting at certain times it'll give you a little bit different look. You want to make sure to make those upper blossoms or those upper petals big enough that they cover over the other ones. So there's 3 like that. The other thing you don't want to do, and it's a hard habit for me to break, I know, is to have them all facing forward. You want to have some of these kind of closed up, I guess you could say, not fully open, not fully oriented towards the front. So I might do something like that. So that gives it a little bit different look. The other thing you can do using some of this technique is do a big main petal and then start doing these sweepy hash marks in on the sides. Remember, you don't want them to look perfect. You want some of it to be slightly skewed, somehow just not quite exactly like the other ones. Again, I'm going to put a back petal that's quite light. This is the first time I've used this blue paint, and it's vivid no matter what you do with it. It's kind of fun, but I'm trying to lighten it up some. There we go. I might do one like that, and then one like that. See the difference just by having it look a little bit different color. Now that could either be one that you would bring the stem up and the calyx right over it right there. That's that little part on the bottom that sort of hangs on to the petals. Or I could flip one of these down and make it look as though it has flipped outward, but it's slightly foreshortened. That means it's at an angle that makes it, even though this is longer, it looks shorter. Sort of like if you think about Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam Wants You. His arm looks really, really short. It's not, but it looks really, really short. So if I were going to come back and do a detail on this one, I'm actually going to flip the colors just because I want it to stand out a little bit more. And I would put some secondary petals inside that. This is just because I wanted the center to be really solid. I'll probably come back and put in white or yellow dots in it to make it be a little bit different looking. I'll do the same thing, but leave it flipped like this. It can still work. The other thing you can do is kind of short it. Let me see if I can find a spot to do one like that. me try this. See, they don't have to be perfect. It can still work. And I'm going to pull that up and over like that. All right, I'm going to finish these off, and then I'll be back and show you the finished product. Okay, these are the finished petals and blossoms that I've done. You can add any details you want, add whatever color leaves you want. Some leaves I veined, some leaves I only half veined, some leaves I didn't vein at all. Centers can vary quite a bit. You can add I did a little bit of dry brushing on that one. Because I'm working in my workbook, I also put the colors of the paints that I used and the type of brush that I used. So if I want to go back and repeat that particular color combination, I would have the exact information at my fingertips. So that's how I do some of the blossoms that I paint. I hope you've enjoyed this 4th video in the series. If you like what you see, please go to pacificdesignstudio.etsy.com and check out my wares that are for sale. And if you like this video, please say so down below, like, and subscribe. Thanks a lot for joining. Bye.